Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at the top 10 teams for the Element Cup. The Element Cup is going to be available here for 1 week in Pokemon Go. You're only allowed to use Pokemon with the level cap of, like the CP cap of 500 CP, and those were going to be Pokemon that still need to evolve and haven't evolved yet. So only like the base form, for example, for like the grass type starters, for example, something like Chikorita is allowed, or Bulbasaur is allowed. The evolutions are not allowed for those Pokemon, so just like the smallest of the smallest, but they have to have the like a potential to still evolve. So Cardamine, for example, wouldn't be allowed. Anyway, we're going to have the only grass, fire, and water type Pokemon available, and definitely water and grass going to be the most common one. Fire doesn't seem too great because the best Pokemon are generally the water type Pokemon in this meta. But let's take a look at the top 10 teams here, and let's see what you kind of want to run. You're going to see a lot of teams here today where you don't have anything in difficult matchups, because there are quite a lot of teams that are very much so balanced that you don't really have a direct difficult matchup. Of course, you can always get hard counter with a team, but there's not a singular Pokemon that really is going to be problematic for the entire team, and this is going to be, for example, the case here with the first team. And the best Pokemon by far to build for this cup is going to be Skrelp. Having access to Acid plus Aqua Tail, which is both going to be stab moves because it's not a Dragon type, it's a Water and Poison type Pokemon, is going to be ridiculously overpowered, especially also then the Sludge Bomb as a coverage move, allowing you to be a Water type that beats other Water types, as well as Grass type Pokemon, as well as Fire type Pokemon, which is everything basically. Skrelp is top meta, and as we will see here as well, this team doesn't really have any issue, to be fair, with any of the Pokemon. And it works quite well here. Pumpkaboo is going to be the safe swap for this team, allowing you to bait a potential Fire-type Pokemon out there and still do some solid damage with a neutral Stab Astonish there. The only real issue, I guess, for the backline there would be then the Litleo, I guess, as a Fire type. But again, I don't think that a lot of people are going to run Fire types, because if you take a look at the list above it, most of the Pokemon are, Water type Pokemon. Like we have Ducklet, Skrelp, Furlish, Dewpider, Binacle. Most of the ones are here actually Water type Pokemon, and so I do think that Fire type is going to have a bit of a tough time, but we still have a team laid down as well with a Fire type Pokemon in it. Next up, we're going to have kind of something kind of similar than before as well. We're going to have here Fomantis, the Ducklet, and the Skrelp. Skrelp, you can use as a safe swap here as well. Ducklet could be the closer. I actually do think that Ducklet would be better as a closer and Skrelp as a safe swap, to be fair, for this team. The thing is, Skrelp is going to be good in every team in any position. Like, it's literally a Swiss Army knife in this meta. You can use Skrelp anywhere because there is no real difficult matchup for this Pokemon. But again, I actually do think that Ducklet would be better as a closer here with access to the move Brave Bird. I think it's going to be better for you. But this is, again, a team where you don't really see a Pokemon that's going to be very problematic for you. If you're going to encounter a bit more Fire-type Pokemon, that's going to be a better team, because you're going to have 2 better answers in the back instead of just the 1 answer for Fire-type Pokemon. So yeah, again, Skrelp is going to be busted. Fomantis with Trailblaze, Leaf Blade is going to be absolutely amazing as well. And we can move on to the next team, where we see the Shadow Cavania. Here, this Pokemon is going to be very interesting with a Bite. LilyKatchum is like one of the only cups where the fast move Bite has actually a lot of play, because there's not a lot of bulk around. And basically, there's nothing that can really resist that. And while we see here this matchup right now, I do think in the 2-shot scenario, basically going to have even a better matchup with this Pokemon. The only way of really beating Cavania there is if you resist Bite, which only really Cottony does in this meta. Don't think there's anything else that really resists it right now. And then if you're going to do super effective damage against it, which only like Oddish with like Razor Leaf really would do. Anything else, I do think that Bite Cavania can completely farm down. You have Aqua Jet and Poison Fang, which are both really good moves forward. Poison Fang to drop the opponent's defense even further, which helps them with Bite. And Aqua Jet is just going to be there to do some nice damage. Bite doesn't generate energy very fast. It's 2 energy per turn, which is really, really bad. But does a solid amount of damage, especially now with the... I think it's Stab still on Cavania. I think it's still a Dark-type Pokemon as well. It's going to be quite difficult to play against. Dewpider is going to be mostly the best answer actually in the current meta. That's going to have a lot of play. Yeah, actually we have another Fire-type Pokemon. We have 2 teams with Fire-type Pokemon. We have Litwick here. Litwick is going to be mostly the best Fire-type Pokemon, as you're just going to have, with the Ghost typing especially there, a bit more play even against, the Poison type in the meta, because you resist that, as well as you're going to be able to double resist Dewpider's fast move, which is going to be very, very important as well. And here you see a few difficult matchups for this team, but still I think it's a very solid team to run, and I do think you have play still on basically everything here right now. Jupiter is going to be very, very overpowered in this meta. It has access to Bug Bite. Bug Bite got buffed this season to a point where it's going to be such a strong move to have. It's a Dragon Breath clone now, and you're going to have Stab Jupiter with that one here. Like Stab Bug Bite is going to be absolutely overpowered in this meta. Skrelp is one of the best answers to it, but we have Binacle in order to deal with it. Binacle also very cool with Mud Slap that got buffed like a few seasons ago, but a really cool moveset with Cross Chop as well as Ancient Power. So you have like really good coverage with this Pokemon. It's also very good just offensively against like a lot of the current meta. And Skrelp again, best kind of say something for this meta. Makes a lot of sense. For Jupiter, you don't need to give it a secondary charge move. Mirror Coat is absolutely not needed. You can just go for Bug Bite, Bubble Beam. That's all that you can need. Like, Mirror Coat is a really bad move. I guess it helps out a tiny bit with a Skrelp matchup. I guess there you're going to be able to do some super effective damage against it. But trust me, Mirror Coat is such a bad move that it won't really matter too much in too many matchups there. I would just go for Bug Bite and Bubble Beam. If I wanted to save some Stardust to spawn in this cup here, then this would be the ideal way of playing. Again, the Open Great League is going to be available at the same time. I'm not too sure if I have the time to make a top team video for that as well. I'm currently doing some exams for my university, so I'm going to be a bit more shy in terms of time that I have left for the next 2 weeks, so sorry about that. But I hope that my exams go well and then I can hopefully do a little bit more content. Actually, just 1.5 weeks to be fair. But yeah, we're going to see here the next one. We're going to have Ducklet, we're going to have the Lilyp and the Binacle. Very interesting team here. Ducklet is going to be, of course, able to deal with mainly the Grass-type Pokemon. We have the Lilyp as our Say-Stop to kind of bait them out while still having access to Acid and Ancient Power. We don't have Rock Tomb sadly on this Pokemon, but Acid still is buffed on it, so it's kind of a cool Pokemon there. And then you have Binacle in the back, which again is going to be a very cool Pokemon in the current meta. Very solid team. Binacle is actually the most difficult Pokemon to deal with for this team. While yes, Grass not gonna one-shot it, this is going to be a very tough matchup there. Generally, Binacle itself, of course, against own Binacle is going to be very neutral. But Ducklet doesn't have coverage against the Binacle, as the only Water-type move that Ducklet learns is going to be that Bubble Beam as far as I know. So yeah, this is going to be the only real difficult matchup there. But again, like I wonder how many people are actually going to play this meta here. I kind of still want to give it a try though, but yeah, interesting meta. Next up, we're going to have here Jupiter, we're going to have the Tentacool, we have the Skrelp together. Very standard team, I don't really need to tell you too much about it. We're going to have a double Water and Poison type backline. So Tentacool is here basically to bait out potential answers to the Skrelp, so Skrelp can sweep endgame. That's basically it about it. Jupiter here to try to knock out ground type attackers, for example, like the Shallows and the Wooper. And this is kind of a very cool team here. I guess there's one difficult matchup that I forgot to put in here, which is going to be Chinchou. Chinchou is kind of underrated in the meta. It's a very good Pokemon, just because all the Grass-type Pokemon completely destroy it. It's not really ranked high, but it's going to be actually very solid in the current meta. And there's going to be a team with Chinchou coming up very shortly as well. Not this one here. This is going to be a team with Ferroseed. 2 Pokemon on the back that can resist both fire as well as fighting. So again, like the teams are all very simple here. Like there's not really anything crazy going on with this meta because it's very small meta. There are like certain Pokemon that are good, certain Pokemon that are just not good. Ferroseed is kind of cool because they resist all the moves from the Skrelp while doing some neutral damage with Tackle. Tackle is the best move to go for. It has also Metal Claw, I think, on it. But Tackle is just better because they do neutral damage against those. So yeah, makes a lot of sense here. Binacle again can be a bit of a pain for this team. Ferroseed actually doesn't have any Grass-type moves, which is kind of sad for it. But yeah, this is going to be it for this team. Let's move on to team number 8. Where we will see here another interesting Pokemon, which is going to be Slowpoke. Slowpoke has access to Confusion, and as Psyshock recently got buffed, also Water Pulse got buffed. This Pokemon is actually way better now in this meta, and it's a very cool Pokemon to run as you're going to be able to completely destroy Skrelp. Skrelp is going to be very common, and you're going to have a lot of play against a lot of Pokemon. Carvanha plus Jupiter are going to be very difficult though for you to deal with, so yeah, you're going to need some answers for them. Here our own Jupiter and also Skrelp is going to be kind of good answers against those 2 Pokemon. But yeah, I do think that Slowpoke has a lot of play in this meta, just doing a lot of damage. And so it's going to be not the only team we have with the Slowpoke here as well for the day. But yeah, Shadow Slowpoke with Confusion damage is going to be able to chunk quite a bit of the current meta and definitely is a Pokemon worth trying out. And here's our Chinchou team. Second to last team for today. Again, like it's going to be a little bit more of a faster video here as well because there's not really a lot to talk about. There are not really a lot of difficult matchups for the teams because they're all kind of balanced out, especially also through the Skrelp here. Fermentor, Skrulp, Chinchou. Chinchou again doesn't really want to face any of the ground type Pokemon, which you can bait out with its Skrulp. Also, yeah, Skrulp is going to be good against other grass type Pokemon. Fermentor is going to be good against other grass type Pokemon thanks to Fury being super effective against them. And so, like, this team is really, really good on paper. You see, there's nothing really that you have to worry about. Against Continental Elite, I would just play it over with the Fermentor and then keep the Skrulp in the back so Chinchou doesn't have to deal with it. It's a very, very good team. Like, it's honestly just a very, very good team, and Chinchou has a lot of play against the current meta, especially against Ducklett. You can completely hardwall them. Against Frillish, you can hardwall them. I do think that Chinchou is really underrated right now, and I will most likely give it a try as well when this cup rolls around there. And that's going to be the final team here for today. We're going to have a team with Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil is, funnily enough, one of the Pokemon that got a lot of buffs since the last time this cup was out. Ember got buffed, Swift got buffed, and yeah, Flame Charge is here now as well to boost their own attack. So actually Cyndaquil has a lot of play, and I want to try this Pokemon out because I feel like it's such a cool Pokemon. I love this Pokemon. It's like it's such an iconic one. It's definitely my Generation 2 starter. Let me know down below, what is your Generation 2 starter? I feel like Chikorita will not be the most common one there. But this is going to be an interesting team here that's a little bit more spicy and a little bit more fun to run. 2 answers to Skrulp in the back with both Slowpoke as well as Binacle, which I kind of wanted to have. And yeah, it's more try to destroy the standard meta. If you're going to encounter like more Pokemon that are a little bit more rare to be seen, I think it's going to be struggling a little bit. They are going to have a bit of a weakness here to a Mud Slap, which you can see here as well. So you have 2 Pokemon that are weak to it. But I still think it's a fun team to run, and I want to have a little bit of a fun one here for team number 10, because the other ones were like so top meta Pokemon. But this is kind of something cool here that I thought of. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Again, it's going to be a little bit more content coming up again after the 10th of July, because then I'm done with university for, like, I have a little bit more to be doing, but I'm done with my exams until then. So yeah, I'm excited for that time because I have a lot of stuff planned. I want to do a lot more content as well towards Pokemon Go PvP. I'm very excited for the time. But yeah, I see you in the next video then as well. Hope you enjoyed the one. See you then. Bye bye.